Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about everything is energy. So, what I would suggest that you do, and this is something that I'm practicing myself, and that is to care more about the way that you feel, rather than relying on the 3D and your external reality to tell you how you should be feeling. To truly start believing in energy and frequency and how important it is that you have a higher vibration. Okay, so what does it mean then to have a higher vibration? So, in a nutshell, what this means is that your energy and the way that you feel, this positive feeling, this uplifting energy that you feel, nothing can break you away from that. To feel greater than your 3D environment, to feel greater than the way that people respond and talk to you. Nothing can knock you off your center, basically, okay? Because when you begin to live more and see life through the lens of frequency and energy, you'll notice that you actually have a lot more control than what you realize. Especially if you can change and manipulate how you feel to a higher and more elevated emotional state. When you're having a day when you would usually have a bad day. So for example, this morning, for me, I woke up and I didn't have the greatest night's sleep. The joys of being a parent, right? And I felt kind of glum this morning because I was just so tired. So I knew that I had to change my energy, that I had to change my frequency. And the best way that I personally do this is, if I've got time, meditation. I don't always have time to do that in the morning though. But usually I have some time to listen to like a 3-minute, 5-minute song. Okay, so that's one of the ways that I raise my vibration. I listen to some instrumental, sort of like motivational kind of music, inspirational music. And I close my eyes and I just visualize what I want, and I feel myself just feeling my emotions get bigger and bigger and bigger and more elevated, and try to overcome that emotion that I was feeling this morning about, feeling a bit glum. Yeah. So that's one of the ways that I personally do it, and it's going to be different for everybody. But after doing that, my energy changed. My energy felt more uplifted. My frequency was raised. I was now at a different energy level than I was when I first woke up, because I took the time to raise my vibration purposefully. Okay, because a lot of people do, without even realizing, because a lot of people don't really know about this kind of thing, and what I mean by that is this: they let the 3D dictate how they're gonna feel. So someone wakes up, and if their spouse is in a bad mood, then they're gonna be in a bad mood for the rest of the day too. Or they go to work and something happens in the morning that they don't like, and then they allow that to ruin their day. Or it could be like me, they wake up and they feel really tired, and because they feel really tired, they don't feel very happy because they want to go back to sleep, right? Okay. And they let that dictate their mood for the entire day. The entire day, like one little thing can piss someone off so much, right? That they stay pissed off for the rest of the day. And sometimes something so big can happen to someone that really annoys them or really upsets them that they allow it to ruin their entire life, right? And it's all because they're letting these external factors mess them up. I could have easily stayed in a grumpy mood today. Easily. And I've done that before in the past. I can especially remember doing that when I was a teenager, but I guess everybody was a bit grumpy when I was a teenager, I guess. But I remember doing that. I remember like allowing so much, just the tiniest little inconveniences to just piss me off so much, and allow it to ruin my entire day. And it's like, well, no, now that I know more about frequency and energy, I know that I can't allow that to happen. I know how to change my mood. I know how to make myself feel better. So why not care so much about how I feel that I consciously do that when I can sense that I'm not feeling that great and I'm not feeling 100%. Yeah? So for me, what worked for me was listening to a bit of the Rocky soundtrack this morning, so that if you want to know the kind of music I listen to raise my vibration, this sort of like the motivational, inspirational music. I think the composer's Bill Conti. So I listen to that and I sort of just visualize myself in a good mood. I also visualize things that I want to happen and feel as if those things are already here. And that's one of the ways that I personally do it if I feel like I'm in one of those crummy moods. Another thing that I do is I also do my morning questions as well. I haven't had time yet to do them this morning, but I'm going to do them after I've done my videos for today. I highly recommend that you go and watch my video on the morning and evening questions, so you can have the same kind of results. And I've been talking about that frequently recently because I think it's really important to be consciously aware of the things that you want to change and to be consciously aware of the ideal version of you, which I got a little diagram here if you're new to the channel. But I highly recommend you go and watch those videos too. I'll leave them in that video as well. I'll leave them in the description of in the comments, so you can go and watch it, okay? But basically, your ideal you, if you can visualize your ideal you, the ideal version of you they feel a certain way, right? They take certain actions and they think certain thoughts, okay? So you got to think about who that is for you. Like, who is that ideal version of you? How would the ideal version of you, who has everything that they've ever wanted, how would they think? How would they feel? What actions would they take? Okay, and you contemplate that, you visualize that, you mentally rehearse who you want to be. And if you do that, you're more likely to start behaving like that ideal version of you, just simply because you've put your awareness on it. Just simply putting your awareness on that ideal version of you can make you start acting like that ideal version of you. Okay, so do whatever you can today to raise your vibration. If you're feeling rubbish, listen to some powerful music, visualize really cool stuff happening, right? For lack of a better phrase, and feel it, right? Raise your vibration, put yourself in a good mood. Now, if you're struggling with low mood though, and I have to say this whenever I talk about low mood, it could be that you've got some kind of mental health condition. And even if you're unaware, and if you're not sure if you have a mental health condition, if you struggle with being able to raise your vibration, if you struggle with putting yourself in a good mood, even if you follow my advice and visualize the ideal version of you, you do the morning questions and the evening questions, and you listen to music to like uplift you, if it doesn't put you in a good mood and it doesn't help, and other things that you've looked online doesn't help, it could be that you have some kind of mental health issue. So please go to a doctor so you can talk to them about these things. Talk to a medical professional, because I'm just a coach on the internet. I can't heal you, I can't fix you. The only one who can do that is yourself, okay? And you do that by saving yourself, by going to a medical professional and talking about it. So if you are experiencing a very low frequency and a very low mood, it might actually be because you have a condition that you need to talk about. So even if you're not sure, please just get checked out anyway. There's no harm in it. Just find out if something could possibly be going on with you that you need medical or professional help with. Okay, there's no harm in that, okay? Because it could be that that's the only roadblock, and once you've got all that sorted in your life and you go on that healing journey, it could be then that everything else that you want starts to trickle into your life because you've had the help, okay? But if not, and if you feel like no, I'm definitely fine in that kind of area, then try and do the advice that I've suggested, okay? Because everything really is energy, okay? So if you know this by the fact, if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, your whole day sort of is like that, right? You have a bad day, and it's not necessarily because of what's happening around you. It's because you're choosing to let it take over your day. And if you can choose to let something bad take over your day, you can also choose to let something good take over your day too, and you can consciously change your energy. Okay? Because if you want to manifest things in this life and you want to have that life that you've always wanted, then you got to start feeling from frequency and caring so much about how you feel that nothing can sway you off your center. And even if it does, you know how to get back on track. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christinelovridge.com. But if you don't want to, then you can just watch the next video, and I'll come back to this one time and time again, or other videos here on my channel. And I shall talk to you again very soon.